Hello folks, welcome to episode 11 of the Excelsior Experience. Today I thought I'd talk about dealing with frustration and envy after the cult. One of the myths that people hold all over, but even people who haven't been in high control groups, they have this idea that normal people or rich people or beautiful people have no problems. They lead these charmed lives. They don't. They face the same dilemmas in dealing with a consciousness so vast in scope. We whiz around our heads. We have this amazing brain that can do so many things. And yet how much time do we spend worrying about, comparing ourselves to other people? Not a good idea. Everybody is influenced in some way in society. Think of every time you watch television or something on YouTube that's got an advertisement on it. That's someone trying to persuade you to buy a product or service, isn't it? They're trying to influence you to purchase that item or take up that service or whatever it is. So we're always being influenced. We were under undue influence. But there is such a thing as due influence. We should be influenced by good people around us to lead good lives. We should be duly influenced to obey the laws of our society and things like this. So the big clarion call for everybody is find balance. That's the key. You see, we live in a reality now. We don't live in a fantasy spiritual paradise. And there'll be times when we won't get what we want. So how do we deal with frustration, not getting what we want? After all, when we were members of that cult, we were going to get everything we wanted. We were going to get the pet panda and the cool house and the lovely wife and the lovely husband and the lovely kids, perhaps, fingers crossed, and have all our friends around and our loved ones. We were going to get everything. Well, we're not going to get everything in the real world. We're just not. There are some things that we are just not going to get, for whatever reason. And we've got to decide how we are going to react to that. Because we live in reality, there are facts that have to be faced. There are situations that have to be faced. And our only choice in these events is our attitude and how we will react to it. So, how are we going to react? Remember, fear of loss is a cult trigger. It's an absolutely big one. Fear of loss is huge. And in a way, we've lost everything. We were promised everything. We don't get that now because we're mentally diseased apostates and we dine with demons. Tell you what, guys, we're supposed to dine with demons, aren't we? But has ever anyone had the check taken up by the demon? I always have to pay. I don't know about you. These guys, cheapskates. But I digress. Yeah, fear of loss is a cult trigger, and we've got to be very careful because losing things is a natural part of life. We lose touch with people, we don't become as close perhaps as we were. Obviously we lose people in death. And fear of loss can cause us to become afraid again. And as soon as we have fear in our lives, we can't have balance. So think about how you're going to react to things when they don't go your way. Sometimes an important lesson is to become a good loser, because by being a good loser you keep your dignity, and also you have a chance of sharing the joy of someone who has won, seeing what they've achieved and going, well done for you, good for you to do that, well done, have a great life, have a great experience of this world. And that releases us from the fear, and it releases us from any guilt we may have, because they're happy. Other people's happiness should make us happy. If it's not, then we're being envious or we're afraid. And neither of those things makes any sense at all. So if anyone watching and listening is finding adjusting to the real world difficult and frustrating, you're not alone. If at any time it all gets too much for you, yes, reach out for people on YouTube. You know, we're nice people, we want to help. But before you come to us, go and seek professional help. There are people out there who are well-trained, capable, caring people who will give you the very best care they can. If anyone would like to email me, share a joke, share a story, whatever it is, my email is Excelsior, this is lowercase, Excelsior and then 7 ones @gmail.com. I've got no professional training, I'm just sitting here shooting my mouth off about things that we all go through, things that I'm going through, things that challenge us as we readjust to living in the real world. You know, it's a difficult realisation that we've lost so much for a lying cult who never cared for us. That is damn difficult to deal with. And the older you get and the longer you've been in, the harder it gets. And then it will be difficult to trust people after that. But remember, trust is earned. It takes time to trust again. But also, folks, it takes courage. And that's what I'd really like to end on here, is how courageous I think all you people are out there who are coping with this so well. You've come out of a high control cult and you've thought, how can I help other people? Now that's a nice way to be, and I applaud all of you out there for whatever you do. Because when I was disfellowshipped in 1996, there was no ex-JW community, and the internet was in its fledgling infancy. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know that I'd been in a cult for 20 odd years. I just thought that's how religions were. I never had access to the information we can get so easily today. You think of all those amazing websites, JW Facts, so many others, where the information is there for you. So things are looking up for us rejects of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society cult. We've got a community, we've got friends, we've got people who care, we've got people who understand what we're going through. So be positive. You've survived a cult, and you are not a bitter, envious, cruel person. You have many talents. You have a place in this world. Surviving a cult and being kind is a testament to a good character, and I salute you all for being that way. Peace be with you. Excelsior.